Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with a review of the Transformers, Titans Return, Voyager class, Darkmoon, and Astrotrain. So, as I mentioned with the Sentinel Prime video from earlier this week, Sentinel Prime was basically a pre-release, pre-tool of Astrotrain. It was a body that was clearly designed to be used for Astrotrain, but was actually used first for Sentinel Prime. So I guess getting the mold out before of a character that the mold's not designed for, rather than the character the mold is designed for, so they sell more toys. I don't know if it worked, but hey, maybe it did. It probably did, so as people got a taste of what the mold was supposed to be for the intended figures. And this is not the only time this happened during Titans Return at all, but I will specify that when we get to those points. But let's talk about Astrotrain. One of the technically one of the two original Decepticon triple changers, but ended up being one of the three Decepticon triple changers because they added another Decepticon triple changer later in the year. But it's really cool that all three of them got Voyager class toys in Titans Return toy line, and I have all of them, so we will definitely be talking about them. But today we're focusing on Astrotrain, so let's first take a quick look at his partner, Darkmoon. That's an unfortunate name, as the wiki likes to joke, preceded by Revenge Fallen and followed by Age Extinction and Last Night. Oh, that was bad. That was very bad. But anyway, you can see he is a straight Redico of Infinitus, Sentinel Prime's Titan Master. Just replaced the orange with the purple, and everything else is the same. All the details are the same, all the faces are the same, obviously, except the main difference being the face on the back. So let's take a closer look at that face right now. Pretty nice white face going on with little slots that have red in them. Nice whitish grayish helmet going on. It's a different I think it's a different shade. Yeah, that's a slightly different shade than the color used for the face, and then that nice yellow stripe going on the forehead there. For articulation, his head is able to rotate a full 360 and is able to bob a bit because it's on a ball joint. Arms are able to rotate that far. Got them all the way up, going all the way up, and are able to fold out, bend out that far, only that far. Excuse me. Legs are able to bend that far forward, that far back, and knees are able to bend that far back and that far forward. And to transform him into head mode, you just collapse him in half, and boom, you got him in head mode. Though I do note that he does not want to, his legs don't want to sit properly for whatever reason. You don't like closing all the way, and I don't know. Hold on, let's check something. Nope, the legs are attached the same way. I don't know what's up with him. I don't know what's up. But he doesn't collapse completely, and that's a little unfortunate, but I don't understand why that's the case. But regardless, that's all for Darkmoon, so let's take a look at Astrotrain. And it is the same thing as you saw with Sentinel Prime, but in a very nice purple, black, and whoops, got the spikes coming out. Whitish color scheme. I'm just gonna call that like a dark white. Like, I think I had a job where I had to paint a fence, and I think that's just like basically the same white I was supposed to paint, and I think it was like onyx white or something like that. So let's just call it white. And I knew, I was like, oh, that's a little more gray than white. Anyway, very nice black, purple, and onyx white color scheme going on. We got a black nose cone up on the front there, some very nice panel lining. The same cockpit as on Sentinel Prime, but again, also unpainted and just in all that black. You got all that nice purple going on. You got some nice Decepticon symbols, and you got all that nice panel lining, and then you got the train wheels poking out there, though they're not as obvious as on Sentinel, and I'm surprised that those panels aren't lining up correctly. I don't know why that is. Then on the sides, you got all of this white going on, some black going on, black there, black paint on the guns, and then you got the underside. which has all of that, and then Astrotrain's chest, and you see how that's going to transform pretty much. Then you got the back with all of this stuff going on. You got the wings up here that are in that same white, and a nice purple transparent cockpit going on, which is where Darkmoon is going to sit. Like Sentinel Prime, he's got 3 landing gear, 1 right there, and 2 on the sides here, right so. So you can get him in a landing gear pose, though it doesn't look too much different than him just laying on the ground. For Time Master interactivity, there are no Time Master ports available on him for him to stand anywhere on the shuttle mode, but you can get him into the cockpit in a seating position like so, and that tab is going to go into that kind of go into that bit right there at the front. Doesn't actually like peg in, it's just like there's just room for it to be. So yeah, and then you got Darkmoon sitting in there, and then he comes with his 2 guns, the same 2 guns a Sentinel Prime came with. The one that's just the rifle, and the other that is the one that Time Master can sit in, and I will show that off really quick. The Time Master can sit by the squares in the back of his legs, going into the squares that are in there in the gun, and then that back tab going into that other slot right there. So that all tabs in like so, and you can ride the gun. And then there's a post right here. You can put this gun in like so. And I did forget to mention this on the other toy, but you can also plug it using that post right there instead. So you do have optional posts for that. And there are also these 2 posts on the side that you can plug things onto the side, like so. I don't think I made that clear in the Sentinel Prime review, so I'm making sure I make that absolutely clear in this review that there are a couple of posts that you can use to mount these guns from. And there are a lot of places to put these guns on Sentinel Prime. I mean, on Astrotrain, you got the holes on the side right there. You got these places on the sides right there, so you can do things like that. Then you also got these ports back here, but you gotta put the wings up like so to get those guns sitting in there, and all of them work and all of the different corners work. Those, I will say, different posts have different fits depending upon what hole they're going into, so be aware of that. So yeah, that's that on Astrotrain and his space shuttle mode. But before we move on, we gotta check out some size comparisons. Here he is with Legends Class Bumblebee. I'll just raise the camera in anticipation of needing a more screen. Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. You can see how that scales. Voyager Class Megatron. And you see how that scales. Leader Class 6 Shot. I'll get that at a better angle. You see how that scales. Astrotrain is still longer. And then for a couple quick bonus comparisons, sorry camera, we have Sentinel Prime right here. So you can see the differences between the 2 molds and these forms, like so. And then we also have the G1 Astrotrain that I have reviewed on this channel before as well. And you can see how they look. Compare it. They definitely are using different shades of purple. I'm going to make that very clear right now. And you can see all of that going on. Yeah. So that's all there's to say on Astrotrain in his shuttle mode. Let me correct the camera since I've bonked it. There we are. There we are. Now we're back to proper position. That's all there is to say on Astrotrain in his shuttle mode, so let's roll right along to his train mode. So I'm going to move out Darkmoon off to the side, and then what's going to happen is we're going to untab these wings from the arms, straighten the arms out like so. Then we're going to untab this entire assembly from that that tab going into that slot right there. Just lift it up to the side for now. And then we're going to undo these entire sections. We're going to split all of that in half. And while we're down here, we're going to open that panel. I'm going to flip that front section around to reveal the train front and tab that closed. Repeat on the other side, open that, flip around, tab closed, and then we're going to slide these bits into the grooves in the arm and what is going to be the robot mode arm, like so. Tab all of that in like so. Flip those purple panels down to reveal more train wheels. Flip those panels down to reveal more train wheels. And we're going to rotate this assembly like so. And then we're going to take the tabs on these wings and stick them into slots there and there. And then just straighten out those wings like so. And there you have Astrotrain in his train mode. And like with Sentinel Prime, it attempts to do some kind of a realistic-ish comparison by having it be two trains connected together with whatever this is supposed to be. I guess it's supposed to be a third car, but it's not long enough to be a third car. And it's there. It's kind of there. So I'm going to say that's a little bit of a failure. Though I do appreciate like them being like, oh yeah, let's do two trains. It's just, it would have been nicer if this middle section made more sense. So taking a closer look, we got the train component with the cow catcher going on and that purple like cabin section. Then we come along, we got a lot of black and we got that white going on. And then all of the wheel sections are in purple, though none of the wheels are picked out in any individual color, though you can see all of that nice detailing going on there. You come back here, you got the wings, you got the Decepticon symbol, you got the guns from the space shuttle mode going on to the roof. You got the cockpit going on up the Time Master seating place up there. And then you got all the same details on the other side of this train mode. Same on both sides, just the orientation of those wings. And then you got the underside like right there, and you can see how thin it is and how it's just like not perfectly straight. Note there are those three wheels, so this is completely capable of rolling on the ground. And as the cockpit works the same way, but you are still able to sit a Time Master in this Time Master cockpit right there. And then for weapon storage, sorry about the interruption, just got a phone call. It's the dangers of recording things on your, on your phone. But I was talking about how the guns attach, and they attach into those ports on the side, and these ports up here doesn't work so well. And depending upon what post is going to what hole, your mileage of how tight it is can vary. Just a note of that. Those are the only two places that they store in this mode. So, yeah, that's actually all there's to say on Astrotrain in this mode. So now it's just time to get onto some size comparisons. Here he is with Legends Class Bumblebee. And if you saw the other review, you know this is not going to fit on the screen, but you can see that comparison. Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. And you can see that comparison. Voyager Class Megatron. Whoops. And you can see how that scales. Leader Class 6-shot. Whoops. Leader Class 6-shot. Like so. And then, of course, just a quick extra comparison next to Sentinel Prime. And you can see the differences going on between those two train forms. And if you could see the whole of them, you could tell they are the same length. And then a quickie bonus with the G1 Astrotrain and it's singular steam locomotive train form instead of the two diesel caboose trains going on there, and then that size comparison. Alright, so that's all there's to say on Astrotrain's train mode, so let's roll right along to his robot mode. So what's going to happen, we're going to take these wings and we're going to untab them and move them like so. We'll just fold them back on those double hinges right now so they are out of the way. You're going to take that whole assembly and rotate it like so on that hinge, and then fold it down and have that tab go back into that slot right there like it was for the train mode. These wings will probably be out of the way a little bit, but hey. So then we're going to untab what will be the legs from what will be the arms, like so. Like so. You'll pull this down. You'll take these purple panels and fold them up. Fold all of them up. Fold all of them up. And fold all of those panels, both the ones on the front and the ones on the back, down like so. Then you can tab the waist tabs together, rotate the leg, open that panel, flip the foot down, collapse that panel, repeat on the other side. Rotate, open, flip, close. Then you gotta just straighten the arms out and pull out the fist, which for some reason have to tab into the arm. I don't understand that, but they do tab into the arm. Then you got all of that. And then all Astrotrain needs is his head. So you take Darkmoon, turn him into head mode, plug him in, and then there is this button on his chest, which will pop these purple bits out to the side of his head to make his head fill out a bit more for the Voyager mold. And there is Astrotrain in his robot mode. And that looks pretty nice. It's a very nice looking robot. Though, I gotta admit, with how he transforms, certainly gives a more of a straight space shuttle vibe rather than a space shuttle and a train vibe, gotta say. Just gotta say that. Though, like, the Astro part's the main part of his name, so I'll take it. So, taking a closer look at that head, well, not the head because we already saw the head, but at these side bits, which are just purple with a little bit of that white paint in the middle there. Out of all of them, these are the ones I mind the least because they are accurate to how they look on the original Astrotrain. So, and I will show that off when we get to some size comparisons. But that is pretty accurate, so I do very much like these being there. This is the most sensical one of them all. Then you got the chest, you got a lot of white, you got a bit of purple down there, and some red going on there. And I don't think that red exists anywhere else. So that's very nice that they put that in there. And the crotch is pretty bland. So are these upper legs, but the upper legs are usually pretty bland. You got the lower legs, and you got all that and the black, and it's a little different of a shade between this section and the painted white stuff, but it's paint. It's kind of expected at this point. Though I think in the past they were better about doing it, about making them match. But I'm not going to complain. Then you got a lot of purple going on the sides because of those panels. You got some black. You got purple, white, and black going on those feet there. You got the black cannons on the forearms. You got pretty white forearms. You got a little bit of black going on the shoulder pads, and then you got the purple hands going on there. And then you got the wings all going on all of that back. Like so. For articulation, he has very limited head articulation because of those those head bits. So that's all the rotation you're going to get if you got those head bits up. But if you put them down, you can get standard Time Master head articulation, full 360, a bit of bobble, but those are up, so that's not happening. If you get the wings out of the way, you can get a full 360 articulation of the arms, able to extend that far out. There is a bicep swivel for a full 360-degree rotation, and slightly greater than 90-degree bend at the elbow. Not slightly, noticeably larger than 90-degree bend at the elbow. The wrist has nothing, and it's even tabs in, so like This is definitely not supposed to be a position the hand should take, but you can do stuff with it. Nothing at the waist. Legs that are on a ratchet are able to go that far forward. If you get wings out of the way, that far back, and then that far out. And then there is also a thigh swivel for 360-degree rotation. Knees are able to bend at a 90-degree angle. Sorry, that's not in the center. And then the foot can pivot that far down and that far up. I'll just show that off again in case it wasn't properly on frame. And then he's just popping by. And then you can position the wings on the backpack however you want. You got those in. You got 2 hinges on each wing, and then these smaller tail fin wings are also able to pivot. So you can do whatever you want. Me, I'm pretty simple with how I position my Astrotrain's wings. Yeah, and then he can hold his weapons in his hands, like so. Actually, for Astrotrain, this is, I'll bring it out since I have it. Here is the original Astrotrain's gun, and here is the Titan's Return Astrotrain's gun. And as you can see from the molding, you actually want him holding it by the hand using this post, because that's the closest to how it looks from the original Toys model. It's not an exact replica, but you can tell the similarities in detail. So you hold it like that, and then you got him holding that one. And then you got the posts on the wings for storage. You got these posts on the back if you want like over the shoulder cannons, but you gotta get the wings into a different position. And if you have the wings out like this, you can also use those posts for storage. And then, or you can even use the knees, what have become the knees, and have him have knee guns if you really want. And there's so many places to put the weapons on him. It's actually kind of silly. It's actually a little silly. Not too silly, but just a little silly. Little silly enough for a nice amount of imagination to go on. So that's all the main to say on Astrotrain. So let's take on some robot mode size comparisons. Here he is next to Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Bumblebee stops shrugging shoulders. And you can see Bumblebee's a little taller than his knee. Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. And he comes up to about that red section on Astrotrain's chest. Voyager Class Megatron. And Astrotrain is a bit taller, about half a head taller than Megatron is right there, actually. No, yeah, about half a head taller, maybe closer to a full head. Nope, Astrotrain, you stay. Leader Class 6-shot, if 6-shot will stand properly. And then 6-shot comes up to about the bottom of that wing. Then we got Sentinel Prime, so you can see the differences between their robot modes. Just for the paints, they're the same height, of course, because they're the same mold. I'll lower the camera a little bit. We have him with G1 Astrotrain, so you can see the similarities and differences between the molding choices, the design choices between the two of them. Very, very different, but you can see the similarities. And what I was pointing out before is like how these wheels are like there on his back, and they like in the animation model they ended up moving forward to being next to his head. So that's pretty nice touch. Those are supposed to be like those wheels that are on the side of his head right there. That head is a lot closer to the animation model than the toy model, obviously, because he doesn't have a visor, and that yellow bit is actually a red bit on the original toy. And then lastly, of course, here he is with Soundwave. Here he is with Wheeljack. Here he is with Wheeljack. Come on, Soundwave, stand up. Here he is with the channel's mascots, Soundwave and Wheeljack. So yeah, all in all, Astrotrain is a very nice toy. Very nice toy. Not entirely accurate to his original G1 toy, but sharing some fair similarities with his on-show model. Just still very different, just to accommodate the new ideas and design aspects for the toy. But overall, it looks very, very nice choice with the purple. It is very much, the colors are not very cartoon accurate since he is very much more purple and black than white with purple and black and white. But if you want to be more show accurate, go to the Japanese version of the toy. But this very much suffices for me. It looks very nice. It looks very good. It also looks very nice next to all of his triple changer buddies. So I can't wait. So I'm glad I got him with all of them being available. I do very much recommend you getting this if you get the chance. And that's all I have to say. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page to help support the channel. All of the links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack signing off.